Here, today we're talking about Xbox because a leaked report has just come out that Microsoft is about to shut down pretty much every single studio of Xbox. They're about to fire 22,000
Airbox.
employees. This is just a staggeringly big.
Airbox. It says rumored, buddy. You know, you want to talk about studio closures and games getting canceled, but it doesn't say any of that. I find it so funny that you PlayStation fanboys got a problem with AI technology, but you didn't have an issue with it when it was in games like Expedition or even Halo Campaign Evolved that's using the same AI technology that you people keep complaining about.
Amount. And immediately there are multiple different leakers and reports.
Oh, here we go.
And let me just start
reports. More like rumors from PlayStation fanboys.
How this is probably coming out. In certain parts of the world, you can't just fire people. You can't just come in and say, you're out, you're out, you're out. Instead, there's these employees' rights commissions where essentially you have to give people some amount of warning. And a lot of like, all right, you know how much they made last year? Last year alone, Microsoft made $100 billion of profit. Not even like...
I thought Airbox was dead, though. I thought they weren't making money. I thought the brand was in the toilet. Now you're going as far to talk about how much money they're making? What?
$billion total. They made trillions total. They made $100 billion in profit. And what do they do with it? Oh, let's build more server farms. Let's dump every single bit of everything into AI. So they tell their investors...
But you guys keep telling people that Microsoft's a failure. They're going to be out of the business. No, but yet we're talking about how much money they made in 1 year and how much they're worth. See, this is why nobody listens to you PlayStation fanboys. Because you guys keep telling people that Microsoft is in a bad position as to whatever they're doing, just to find out that it's nothing but copium.
Okay, well, we promise gaming isn't making any money or not making as much money. We're going to fire every single studio so that we have, 2% more fungible funds to put into AI, even though this is just so psychopathic.
I mean, well, they're using AI to create video games. I mean, I think we're getting to a point where they don't even need actual developers, maybe a handful on site. But like I said, this is also going to help speed the process as to when games are going to come out. Because to be honest with you guys, you cannot get these people to work these type of schedules on these games, man. I mean, they've been working crunch. I mean, to be honest with you, it's actually really not good for themselves. It's really not. I mean, look no further than Last of Us Part 2 and how Naughty Dog was complaining about how hard it was for them to get this game out. I think AI is going to help subsidize that. I think AI is going to help with that. But at the same time, I know people have a problem with it because they say, well, the originality and the creativity of the developer's vision. But you got to ask yourself, how many of these games do we actually see like that nowadays? A lot of these games are just cookie cutter approaches to every game that they make it now.
The replies, Microslop. This is the thing. This company no longer produces quality of any sort of variety. This company does not produce great games. They don't create...
You got to be lying to yourself. They're definitely creating more games than PlayStation. You tell me what PlayStation's been doing. What are you talking about? Nintendo and Xbox are the only companies really out here pushing gaming. What is PlayStation doing? Y'all still waiting for Intergalactic. Y'all ain't even got no games coming out.
Classics.
Y'all been milking Insomniac because that's the milking these superhero games because that's all Insomniac is willing to make y'all. Because everything else that y'all did failed.
They don't good stories. They don't make great, cool innovation. They don't even make good online games, right? Even during...
What? Microsoft doesn't make good online games? Bro, come on, bro. Cut the cat, man. I mean, you even got Nintendo having more online on their games. You tell me where's your little Last of Us multiplayer then? Where's your multiplayer for Concord? Oh, that's right. The game is extinct. Like, what are you talking about? Oh, Microsoft don't make multiplayer. Bro, they've been doing multiplayer since the beginning. Let me hit this again.
This company does not produce great games. They don't create classics. They don't good stories. They don't make great, cool innovation. They don't even make good online games, right? Even during...
Now, you know that's a cap.
During the darker eras of Xbox, at least they were making cool games, right, that you could play online. I feel like a lot of people didn't really like...
So Gears E-Day's not going to be online. State of Decay 3 is not going to be online. none of these games are going to be online. Forza Horizon 6, these games are not going to be online. Grounded 2, these games are online. What are you talking about? That's more than what you could say for PlayStation.
Gears of War 5 as much as I did, but I was obsessed with Gears of War 5. And if you played that online, even just tossing aside the story of it, Gears 5 Online was absolutely awesome. The High Buster DLC, mwah, you're never going to see that again. This is the X.
Wait, we're never going to see that again. We got Gears E-Day coming out this year, and you talk about how we never going to see that again. What are you talking about? When are we going to see a PlayStation multiplayer game actually be successful?
President of freaking the company. This is the ex-president of Xbox.
Nobody want to hear this fool, man. Nobody want to hear Mr. Mike Wabari. You're just mad because Sarah Bond is at a position that you was never going to be at. That's all it is. It's just like with that other girl. Was that Laura Fryer? Have you noticed all these so-called quote-unquote ex-boxers, right? No pun intended. They used to work for the company have a problem because Microsoft is more successful than they ever been. Even when they worked at the company at the time, nobody wants to hear this, man. That sounds like one of those ex that still cry about their boyfriend, talk about, oh, I moved on from him, and yet you're still talking about it. I mean, come on, disgruntled ex-girlfriend.
PlayStation, a lot of these other companies,
PlayStation,
they're purely about the game. So when
what? PlayStation ain't about games. Y'all got more TV shows than video games. What are you talking about? Oh, PlayStation, bro. What? I gotta hear this again.
At the backing of Microsoft. Nintendo, Square Enix, Capcom, PlayStation, a lot of these other companies, they're purely about the game. So when they make acquisitions, it leads directly to games, right? All right.
And that's what we've seen with Microsoft. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? When we seen that with Sony, we found out that Marathon's gonna probably be dead on arrival. You know, Mr. Xbox can't do no more. I mean, bro, you're just a PlayStation fanboy, bro. The fact that you said that Microsoft is not good in multiplayer games, even though you said you loved Gears 5. I love Gears 5. Just shows you how disingenuous you are in the type of statements that you make. What happened to Concord? What happened to Last of Us multiplayer? What happened to all the multiplayer games that Sony made? Ding, 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 ding. Good answer, Carl. They failed. But yet, even Nintendo got more online games than you. PlayStation don't be pumping out no online games.
For buying a studio, it has to make great games. They got to hit the ground running, right? And if they make great games, we reward them with bigger budgets, crazy stuff. If your games are winning a bunch of awards, great. Let's give that company even more like creative freedom. Microsoft is the only company where they buy gaming studios and make them crappier, shut them down, or outright just destroy the brand for like a hypothetical stock increase.
Oh, really? Oh, really? You know what? Let's go through the list of PlayStation failures. We could even throw in some multiplayer. Killzone franchise, Little Big Planet, Infamous, Heavenly Sword, MotorStorm, Twisted Metal. Uh-oh. You didn't think I was going to do all this? What happened to all these games? What happened to all these games from PlayStation? Parappa the Rapper? The list goes on, people. PlayStation, Ape Escape, where's your games? Your games don't even see sequels anymore, and you out here bashing Xbox for not bringing out enough games? All Microsoft does is send these games to the great. Well, Gears of War exists, check. Halo still exists, check. State of Decay 3, check. Fable showing his head around, check. On top of having new games like Clockwork Revolution and Grounded, right? These games still are successful. But when we fast forward to PlayStation, name any PlayStation games that are successful in comparison. None.
Where they buy gaming studios and make them crappier, shut them down, or outright...
Oh yeah, just like when Sony bought Bungie, and they got a lousy Marathon coming out.
Destroy the brand for like a hypothetical stock increase.
Oh yeah, you know, PlayStation didn't just destroy SOCOM. They didn't just destroy those brands, guys. You know, I remember when PlayStation used to do those type of games. Y'all remember? SOCOM and the Killzone and Resistance. Where those games? Oh, that's right. Sony destroyed the brand.
I will never forgive them for Tango Gameworks. I mean,
if you could forgive Sony for what they've done to all their horrific franchises, then you should be able to forgive Microsoft, because PlayStation has literally canceled every single good game that they've ever had because their audience just didn't want to support it. Killzone, Resistance, you guys know the list. SOCOM, Where's your games at? Where's your franchises at? You want to sit there and talk about Xbox, but yet Microsoft still has a lot of their household names.
The Evil Within. The Evil Within 1, The Evil Within 2 are masterpieces. I will die on that hill. Literally,
Overrated.
Please play The Evil Within. They
Overrated.
are literally such good classic Resident Evil games made the current day, and Microsoft just said, you know what, it's not worth it, and they shut them down. This still is ridiculous. This is a tweet here from 2024 when they shut them down. People are celebrating acquisitions and pushing for them to get more studios. I feel so bad for the people who work there. But let's also think about the fact that last year, this is from July of 2025, they shut down 9,000 jobs, including, of course, canceling Perfect Dark, Everwild, and a bunch of...
There's a reason for that. Because when Microsoft told them like how much progress that we have with this game, there was practically nothing. I guarantee that when Microsoft told them, like, whatever the company was working at the time for them, and they're like, yo, how much progress? Oh, that's not real gameplay. Microsoft said, we're canceling it. And rightfully so. Why would you sit there, fund a company to make a game for y'all, and y'all not taking your sweet time? Y'all not even really putting the effort in the game. They did the same thing with Scalebound. When Square was too busy working on PlayStation with Nier Automata and all that, and they just said, you know what, just cancel it, because they obviously are not looking at our game as the top priority. It only makes sense. I know it sucks that the game got canceled, but I'm just saying, you got to look at it from your perspective. If you're funding something and you're not seeing any progress, especially after years on end, it was only going to bound to get canceled. And once Microsoft found out that the trailer that they showed at whatever E3 or whatever, they're like, that's not real gameplay. They're like, no, that should. Then Microsoft said, okay, we're just canceling it.
Their stuff. There's now actually more leaked details about this MMORPG. They're actually working on a giant secret, super expensive Microsoft MMORPG, key areas of focus. So far, Microsoft has not confirmed this, but it would follow a difficult 2025. During that war, Microsoft cut more than 15,000 jobs across several rounds. Some of these even came after revenue and profits are staying strong. That is because of
I personally don't care. Are we getting the games? Are we still getting games? Are we getting Gears E-Day? Or are we still getting State of Decay 3? Are we still getting Fable? Are we still getting Forza Horizon? I personally don't care. This does not benefit me. What Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo decides to do with their employees, that is their business. I don't care. I'm worried about the games that I'm getting. And we all know that Microsoft, including Nintendo in some cases, are bringing the heat. Now, the real question is, what is Sony doing in comparison? They're not doing that in absolutely nothing. PlayStation barely has any games. Y'all got nothing.
Via AI, your giant supercomputer makes all the games, all the decisions, all the updates, all the code, all the movies, all the everything. It starts to become that thing where it's like, okay, then who's going to work? If there are no game developers making good ideas, who's going to buy the games? Who's going to make the games? Just trying to make it so this giant bubble prints out slop, it's not going to lead to any sort of progress. The best games of the last 10 years, a lot of them have been indie games. I think I'm kind of almost afraid about how good Expedition 33 is.
Which also used AI.
Because I'm almost terrified that now it's going to be this specific landmark fence post. The last real game made by humans.
Oh, that's funny, because didn't the game lose an indie game of the year because it used AI within the game? But yet, don't tell Dreamcast guy that. Don't tell him that his favorite game that he enjoyed, like Expedition, so much for that hard work, huh? That to the point where they even use AI in Expedition, and that's why they had, for the Indie Game Awards, that's why that game lost. What are you talking about, bro? You know what I mean? You guys want to sit there and live in a stone age, man. Things change. Things are different. Now, mind you, we'll see how these things stack up. But at the end of the day, this is going to help games come out a lot sooner. You know? It is. And we'll see how this thing turns out in the end. I'm 50-50 with it. I don't know if it'll be good or bad. But at the end of the day, I understand that this is this type of strategies that these companies have to take. Because there's not enough. They're tired of paying these people money for games selling 1 million. Okay, and this is why I keep telling you that the gaming industry just hasn't grown. It just hasn't evolved like you people think, because the same people that have been playing games are the same people that have been playing games for what, the past 10 years, right? You said indie games. 10 years of indie games, bro. What happened to the days when AAAs was the true kings of gaming? Now it's double A's. Now it's I mean, we're paying more money for hardware, but yet we're getting double A experiences. Like, I mean, this is embarrassing. And you guys act like this generation is so good. Like this is crazy, man. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, man, we already knew he had to do another one of these videos. You know, Mr. Can't stand AI technology, but yet his favorite game, Expedition, that he played had AI in it as well. Like I said, what a hypocrite. Peace out.